You've got questions, we've got answers. Who knows that tagline? I'm like a savant with taglines. I don't know why I know them all. But you can pretty much give me a corporation, you know, major brand. I might possibly know their tagline. Redemption, but it said it was... Oh. How'd that happen? Did you scratch it off yourself? Or did someone sell it to you? I mean, it should have been... What kind of redemption was it? Isn't Blake Snell doing pretty good right now? Dellin did not have a good game today. There's a Blake Snell to 50 for the Rays. You packed it. Well, they're going to look up the number and see if it's been redeemed, if there was an error or what. Oh, God, I really, really, really thought it was going to be autographed. I have a feeling we're due for another one of these autoed. Damn. They will look up and see Brendan Rodgers, nice auto. The Rockies. Oh, man, nice. AL East for Mickery Stoles. I gotta fix the cam again. This is a 22 of 50. Sevy. Reno. You probably didn't even see it. He's working the... Like, for real tonight, he really is working the funnel cake thing. Tyler Naquin. Like, I'm not even kidding. I know we goof around a lot, but tonight he is on the funnel cake machine. Or whatever it's called. Funnel cake griddle. Is it a griddle? A Severino. Woo! So tonight. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I got the backup camera going, though. Oh, we just froze up. But I'm going to restart. I got the camera going. Back up. Because I'm smart. Alright, so I'm back on. Where are you going to college? Johnny Ahoy. Part 2 of Bowman's Best. I got the backup camera going. Pensacola. Well, good for you, dude. Congrats. Are you? I didn't realize you were a college-aged student. Nice hit there, Zach Collins. AL Central for Brunk. Shiny Dansby. Oh, dope. So what are you doing in college? Besides learning. Josh Lowe, get low, get low. Oh, graphic design? Cool. So, I don't want to sound old, but I guess I'll get up on my soapbox again. When it comes to college, I didn't go to college. Kind of was in a different field of that you could work your way up to the top in. I got into radio when I was in high school. I just loved it. I loved everything about it. I just fell in love with the whole radio station thing. Back in the 80s, mid-80s, it was very popular. Never was good scholastically. School and me do not get along. I mean, it's like there couldn't be more polar opposites than me and school. So I knew I wasn't going to go to college. It just wasn't happening. No way. So I got into radio, you know, and I worked my way up from radio, starting out as an intern and learning and watching and just being 2,000% available at every second, every minute they needed me. And I turned that into a career in the music business and radio of like 20 years. Can you do that as a graphic artist now? Can't you just go somewhere and be like, look, hire me, I'll be an intern, save the 30 grand on college a year or 20, whatever it is. Here's a redemption. Congratulations, Steven Matz. Best of 15, NL East. There you go, Eric N. I just don't really understand the college thing. Now, if you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, some sort of a scientist, but, you know, going to school for... There's just so many other ways to learn business stuff. I mean, everybody thinks after high school you got to go to college. They want a degree now. Well, I can kind of call false on that. I got into finance too after the music industry crashed, Tyson. Oh, it's not the sock we're looking for, but it's a nice one to 5. Oh, that's one of the lowest Bowman Best we've had for Mick Stoles. Busting out the number to 5, Michael Chavis. Is he good, baseball dudes? I mean, I guess to an extent, They do, but that degree, in my opinion, and don't take this the wrong way, is just, it's silly. Like, degree for what? If you're being a lawyer, yeah, you need to learn how to be a lawyer, dude. You need to know the laws of the land, the rules of the land, the procedures, the policy, the protocol of a courtroom, and the laws. You got to learn to know those. You got to know those. But to be a graphic design artist, you need to know how to use freaking Corel Draw or whatever they use nowadays, and Photoshop and all that stuff. Like, what do you need a degree for? I want to be a graphic artist, dude. I make dope stuff. Hire me. You know, Matt Yerkes, the guy who does my stuff, he's an awesome graphic artist. He makes a lot of good stuff. He's very talented. You're going to hire some dude with a degree that is not talented and sucks at doing graphic design? KACV FM 90. Oh, man, college radio in the 90s. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, in the 80s, I was that kid that was calling the radio station all the time, trying to win tickets, trying to win, back then it was albums, literally trying to win albums. And I knew that I needed to be in the radio business. Phil Bickford. I was like, look, man, they get to play music, which I love, as you can tell. They get to play music, they get to go to concerts, they get to, like, get all kinds of free stuff and t-shirts and concerts and hats and events and stuff, go on parades. Like, who would have want that job? If you're going to have a job. So I went down there one day and I was like, hey, I'm in 11th grade and I want to be an intern. Can I do that? And they're like, sure, you can be an intern. Come back and talk to this dude. I went back, talked to him. The rest is history. He started me out as just doing everything and anything in the radio. Braxton Davidson, NL East. For Eric N. And then, you know, you work a year or so as an intern and running the board. You know what running the board means, Tyson. I was running the board. Amarillo College Cutting Edge. The cutting edge of rock. And then you work up, you know, you run the board. Back then, Tyson, I was running the board for Casey Kasem in Sunday mornings, dude. Yeah, I love talking to old school radio guys. Yeah, you had the big reel-to-reels and you had to cut the things and use that stupid tape to splice it together. And then years later, they started getting fancy with them big digital things, you know, with the big buttons on it. And we used, back then, remember carts? All the music was played on carts. I got to do an old school reminiscing radio show. Everything was played on those carts. They looked exactly like 8-tracks. And you put them in and you had to put trip tones on them so it would trip off the next one and they would always get stuck. And then they went to DVDs, or to CDs, I mean, that were inside those jewel case things. Oh, nice. So you must be my age, 40-something. I mean, I just loved, like, maybe someday you'll have the great fortune to experience this, but that day I took the food down to the radio station. This was my way in. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take down food for Thanksgiving, and, you know, for their food drive at Thanksgiving. And I rang the buzzer. It was like 7:30. It's a night show. Little Joe Frisco was on the air. This guy, night dude, you know. And the buzzer comes on. He's like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I brought some stuff for you, some food and canned goods and beans and stuff. It's like, all right, leave them there on the side. I'll come get them here. Thank you. I rang the buzzer again. I'm like, dude, no. You got to at least come out and say hi. You know, I want to meet you. So he came out, opened the door. He's like, hey, how you doing? I said, listen, man, I got to see what's in there. I can't take it. I've been a long-time listener. I love it. He's like, all right, come on in, which you can never do nowadays. You can never just invite some 11th grade kid into the radio station at like 8 o'clock at night. That ain't happening. But I went into the radio station and I was like, as soon as I walked in, I remember Bon Jovi was playing on the air. I was like, oh my Jeez. I am going to do this for the rest of my life. And I knew it. I knew it then. That's what I was going to do. And I did. Next thing I know, a couple years later, I was on the air. And then went into a long history of different radio stations around the country and doing promotions and stuff. So my point is, dude, if you love taking photographs at concerts, I mean, build a business around that. Couldn't you build a business around being a concert photographer? You're going to go to college for 4 years, then you're going to fight everybody else for a degree who probably knows people where you're trying to get in, so they have an advantage because they know people that you don't. And it's just a pain in the butt.